everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today I'm going to be giving my predictions and my reactions to the Champions League group stage draws this season. And oh my god, we have some marquee matchups, man. We got PSG versus Man City, Derby FC, the semi-final repeat, Messi versus Pep Guardiola. We have Chelsea versus Juventus, another massive tie between two great clubs. We have Liverpool versus Atletico Madrid. We have so many great games to look forward to. It's going to be an amazing set around this group stage. And we also have Barcelona versus Bayern Munich, the revenge game of literally 2 years ago, where Bayern Munich literally destroyed Barcelona 8-2. So we got so many revenge games, we got so many marquee lineups. Let's just hope for another great games of Champions League football like we had last season. But before we go in this video, make sure you guys like, comment, and hit that big subscribe button right there, because I'm nearly at 700 subscribers, so help me reach the magical number. But yeah, give me your own comments in the comment section. Do you like the Champions League draw? Do you think these matchups are great? Are you looking forward to PSG versus Man City? Are you looking forward to Atletico versus Liverpool again like 2 years ago? Are you looking forward to all these great matchups? But let me go straight into the video. So in terms of this video, I'm only going to be speaking about the English teams. But in terms of Man City, like historically, they have some easy draws every single time, man. There's no point in getting some easy teams every single time under Pep Guardiola. But this year, oh my god, this year is crazy. They got PSG in their group, they got Leipzig, and obviously Club Brugge, which they're expected to win this game. But in terms of this group, it is deadly. But let's be honest, man, Man City are better than every single one of these sides. Maybe not PSG, but the only danger I can see them not qualifying if they lose both games to PSG. And then you never know with Leipzig, because on their day, Leipzig can beat anyone, like we saw last season against Man United. So Man City should not be complacent. They need to watch out for certain teams like Leipzig, because I'm telling you, if you lose twice to PSG, you're going to be motivated to take revenge against Man City because of last year. You don't want to be going into game 5 or game 6 of these fixtures thinking, oh my god, we need to win. And then you know what it is, it's a lottery, anything can happen. So in terms of Man City, I know it's going to be daunting trying to balance the Premier League, Champions League and the Capital World Cup all the way up until December. But if any team can do it, like we've seen across the years, it's Man City. They literally have a second starting 11 who can win the Premier League probably, or even compete, man. So they got the depth in squad to literally compete on all 4 fronts. And especially by game 5 or game 6 when they're already qualified, they can literally put their gas off the pedal and literally allow the younger players or the fringe players to get some minutes. So in terms of this group, I expect Man City to finish top. But even if they finish second to PSG, does this really matter? Because we don't have that many great European sides like we did in the past, man. So even if they draw Barcelona or Juventus or any of these old age has-been clubs, like obviously Man City are expected to win. The only team they don't want to draw is Bayern Munich. So even if they finish second, no team which finishes first, we want to play them. So I expect them to finish with 10 plus points, probably beat and draw to PSG and win the other games, potentially getting a draw away from Leipzig. You never know of one of these games where obviously the crowd's going to be up for it. But I expect Man City to comfortably go through this year into the last 16. So the next group I'm going to be talking about is Group B, and Liverpool, oh my days. I feel like this is the worst case scenario Liverpool could have got, and that's who we got. Liverpool in a group with Atletico, Liverpool themselves obviously, then you have AC Milan and Porto. And oh my god, I was watching the draw and I knew we were going to get AC Milan. I was pleading and begging, but I just knew it. But in terms of stature of the club, obviously it's daunting. AC Milan, 6-7 time European champions. Atletico Madrid just won the La Liga. Porto, who are no slouches in their own Portuguese league. But that's in terms of stature. Right now, let's be honest, Liverpool are better than every single side. And I know Atletico beat Liverpool 2 years ago in the last round of 16, but we really should have won that game because of Adrian. I know these sides have great pedigree, and even now these sides are decent. You have AC Milan finishing second to Inter Milan in terms of the Serie A. You got Porto finishing second in the Portuguese league, and then you have Atletico Madrid winning the La Liga out of all odds. So obviously these teams are hard, but let's be honest, man, we have not seen a healthy, fit Liverpool for the last 2 years. And the last time we saw this team healthy, they were averaging 90 points in the Premier League, and I'm not saying we're going to get up to that level again, but in terms of the Champions League, man, come on, we are better than every single one of these sides. Maybe Atletico Madrid tactically give us problems, but everyone else away from home, going to obviously Milan and going to Porto, we should be winning. We've beaten Porto 5-0 in the last 2 or 3 years. Like, we know how to play against them. And AC Milan, this is their first year back in the Champions League after a very long time, so obviously they're going to be new to this again. So I expect Liverpool to go through, especially with the fact that we're going to be at Anfield nights. The fans are going to be cheering us on, giving us that extra energy and desire to win these games. And the fans are going to be up for it. The players are going to be up for it. Everyone's going to be excited that football's back to normal. And obviously we all are going to want to get our revenge against Atletico Madrid. The only cause to concern is obviously Liverpool's squad is quite thin. Mane, Salah have to play midweek and then obviously play in the weekend. But in the past, historically under Jurgen Klopp, this really hasn't affected us. We've always been able to qualify. In terms of the squad not having that depth, we've always managed to qualify early to give the younger players or the fringe players that game time, like Origi and Minamino last season in the Champions League. So yeah, in terms of this, I expect us to qualify. I expect it to be fairly difficult. It's going to be some challenging games, but we should be qualifying, man. I don't care. It's Liverpool FC. We're better than these guys, and we got Van Dijk, our best player, back, obviously. So yeah, we should be going through into the last 16. So the next team I'm going to be talking about is Manchester United. And oh my God, man, of course they're going to get easier group being in pot 2 compared to Man City being in pot 1, man. Man United, come on. They're always, okay, last year maybe they got a hard group, but come on, man. Man United, yeah, when you think they have an easy pass, they'll just let you down, like we saw in the final against VILLAREAL, who ironically are in their group this year in terms of the Champions League. But in terms of this year, Man United are in the group with obviously Man United themselves, VILLAREAL, Atalanta, and Young Boys. And if you say straightforwardly, should Man United be able to qualify? They should qualify. Will they qualify? This is the only team which I don't know, because last year when they had 6 points, they should have qualified, but they didn't. They choked it away. Obviously, like I said earlier, when Man United are expected to do something, they just don't, do they? So obviously this feels like a Europa League kind of group and they should be qualifying. But obviously last season they struggled against VILLAREAL. Atalanta aren't no slouches. And we saw last year when they went to a poor side in Turkey, they couldn't even beat them and they lost 2-1 at their stadium. So maybe Young Boys could do a job on them. You literally never know. But you just like to think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has learned his lesson, because you're versing VILLAREAL again. You should know tactically how they set up. You should know tactically their weaknesses now, because you've played against them and you nearly won against them in extra time. So you should be seeking for revenge and you should have learnt the wrongs that you've done in the past. Obviously, other games like Atalanta, I experienced Atalanta last season where Liverpool nearly got knocked out by them. I think we lost 2-0 at Anfield. They're actually a very, very good side themselves in their respective right. I think they're going to suit Man United's style of play because they're going to want to press. And Man United are going to be able to pass through the press like they do against Leeds. Obviously, Atalanta don't do man-to-man, literally suicidal pressing. But obviously, Man United like teams coming onto them so they can literally counter-attack and get their players a lot of space like Bruno Fernandes and Pogba. So this should suit them. And obviously, Young Boys should be a given 3 points. So you'd like to think Man United are going to go through. But you never know, man. They're going to make it hard on themselves like they always do. So in terms of this group, I'm going to say Man United are going to go through just about, I think, 5th, 6th game is going to be scary. We're going to be on our edge of the seats thinking, Man United are going to go through. But I think they're going to finish second in the group. I think Atalanta are going to top them, because I know Man United are going to struggle in one of these 2 or 3 games, man. So the last team I'm going to be talking about is Chelsea. And obviously, I feel like they have the best group of all the English sides. So the group Chelsea have is Chelsea, Zenit, Malmo and Juventus. And if you really think about it on paper, obviously Chelsea are one of the favourites to win the Champions League, so they should have no issue beating any of these sides. Juventus, stature of the club, obviously Allegri, world-class manager, you're thinking, whoa. But yet again, they're not the Juventus of old. Literally, they finished 4th in the Serie A last season. Allegri just came in, a rebuilding job, and they're losing their best player, Ronaldo, probably to Manchester City. So on paper, Juventus shouldn't be posing a threat against Chelsea. And if you looked at all the other teams, what, Zenit and Malmo, there should be a give me 3 points, man. And the only concern I have is probably travelling for Chelsea, because going to Russia, then coming back to the Premier League, you might lose that edge, you might lose that sharpness travelling around all across Europe when you have Liverpool going to Spain and Portugal, which is quite closer compared to those countries. However, I think Chelsea have the squad depth to deal with this. They have the talent. They have, the players to deal with this, man. And they have the experience, because we saw last season, obviously winning the Champions League. So this really shouldn't be a worry. And we should expect them to top their group easily. Probably by the 4th game, resting players, looking at the Premier League, thinking about how they're going to compete with Man City and Liverpool. But yeah, I think Chelsea are going to qualify fairly easily. They're reigning European champions. They got the tactics, they got the players. Just signed Lukaku, one of the best strikers in the world, so they really should not be an issue. Obviously, Werner's still yet to play this season, so they got so much squad depth. Well, Kante just came back, and I don't think he even started against Arsenal. Jorginho and Kovacic started against them. So look, they got talented players everywhere across the pitch. So yeah, those are my predictions. Let me know in the comments who you think is going to qualify, who you most excited to see, and yeah, just let me know in the comments which team you think will win the Champions League this season this early as well. See you guys later in the next video.